3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Ollie, are you a good painter?
New.
Louis, you were saying you're not too good either?
No, I'm not a very good painter.
Okay, perfect.
I doodle, but I'm not great.
You go light to dark, you go dark to light.
I go light and then dark. But it's just me. YOLO. Fucking YOLO.
All right. Got your colors?
Colors for now. Ooh.
Cool. Thanks, guys, for being on this show and for painting with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, so I saw in an interview with Billboard that you share a house with a bunch of creative people. Does that help your creative process? Like, what does daily life look like there?
They used to be creative, now they've all turned to alcoholics and they just don't really, they're not
Is
that
it?
creative anymore.
Yeah.
No, they're, we don't live there anymore. We did live in a house like with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
There were 8 people in that house, and then I think they, when you have couples and friends over, like easily the house fills to about 20 people.
Yeah.
It's a big house party.
Did you find it easy to be creative, or was it distracting with all the alcoholism?
Definitely distracting at times, I reckon.
Yeah.
But it's good when you need like a photographer or something, or someone to shoot something and they're like a room across from you.
Yeah, no, it was more collaborative than distracting for sure.
Yeah.
So where you guys live now, do you have a home studio or a creative space?
We live separately now because Ollie stinks.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
I moved out before this tour, but you've got a little studio in your house.
I got a little bit of a creative studio space.
Ollie lives pretty much right on the beach though, so he's like, gonna get
which is
all
quite
rusty.
nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Ollie, you going for that?
Going for a little wash at the back.
Yeah.
Mine's gone horribly wrong already.
Yeah,
So
I got no plan.
Can we have a reveal right now?
absolutely not. You're gonna have to wait and see. So when you guys create now, do you have planned writing sessions, or do you just grab each other when you're feeling inspired?
We're pretty close to each other, so it's like we usually go later, right?
Yeah.
Mostly.
I find it like getting out of our home city of Sydney, like it's useful because we can get into the space. We normally, on our first day of writing, we normally write a pretty shitty song, and then we just accept it's going to be bad, and then we like move on. Normally, like the second song we write is a lot better than the first. Yeah.
What songs have you written that have been planned versus one that have been more spontaneous?
I think maybe dumb songs are usually
More spontaneous?
Yeah, we've got a lot of silly songs, and they're like the spontaneous ones. You kind of you don't really plan on writing something, you're just kind of messing around and expect it to go nowhere because it's silly.
A song like Screw Loose was like a bit of a joke song, like we didn't actually plan that. We didn't ever really intend to release it.
Speaking of writing songs that you started off having more fun with, I know you both like Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that his songwriting style, structure is great, but he likes to start with chaos in order to get freedom. So that seems like the kind of style you got when you were writing.
Is that what he said when you had the last conversation, last time you guys spoke?
Yeah, that's what he told me, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we relay the message to you guys.
Did he say that sort of about this interview coming up?
Yeah, he did. I asked him if he
That's
had any
cool.
words of wisdom for you guys.
Yeah.
And that's what he came up with.
Good old Paul. Cheers, Paul.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Paul, mate.
he wants me to send him one song after this interview is done, one that he'd really like of yours.
Oh,
yeah?
Which one are you picking?
I thought you were going to say he wants us to send like a bit of money to him or something.
What one are we sending to Paul? What one do you reckon, Lou? Pressure's on for
New song?
I don't
Any
know.
song
You gotta
of
send him a
yours.
song that you're kind of like proud of, that you go, hey Paul, check out this.
Or like a style he'd like?
Well, our new song, Imposter Syndrome's out now, so
There you go.
Maybe he'll plug it. He'll
Yeah.
tweet about it. What Paul McCartney song is your favorite? Or Beatles. Can go Beatles.
I think Michelle's probably one of my favourite songs, just because my mum said she had her first kiss to that song. So I think that's a really nice.
So you just think of mum kissing. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
great.
What?
I think Here, There and Everywhere is pretty amazing. Yeah. It's just like nice, simple, beautiful song.
Louis, which song of Ollie's that he's written is your favorite?
I think Colin's definitely my favourite song that Ollie's written.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. And I really love Colin Hay as well. So it's nice.
Ollie, what about you? Which one of Louis do you like the best?
Inappropriate Behavior is like, that's one that Louis pretty much wrote. Like it was quite finished before he brought it to me. I think that one, I remember just being like, oh, this song's so good, and Louis kind of going, yeah, it's all right. And then it was like, we've got to record this one. And him sort of like not really getting why I liked it a lot. I don't know, I've always just loved the way that it flows, that song.
You mentioned Colin Hay, and you've also worked with Idris Elba. In your experiences working with them, did they do anything particularly interesting that you wanted to adopt in your own creative process?
I mean, Colin's voice is pretty just amazing.
Colin just sings without even like warming up or anything, you know? He's just like, well, like, did you warm up today? And he's like, I normally do, but I didn't today. We're like, all right.
It's just amazing.
He didn't really teach us anything there. It was just taught us that he was really good.
What about
That
Idris?
was kind of it.
Idris is, I think we learned from him, he gets in like, I guess because he is an actor, he gets into these characters where he creates this character for the song.
Do you guys ever do that yourselves?
We do now, I think, because of that.
Yeah?
To be honest, we kind of always have. Like, if you talk about Screw Loose, that was a bit of a joke song. Like, I feel like we're just in character that whole time.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
I would love to hear the story of when you two first came together and decided that you wanted to start a band. I do know your brother, so I'm aware that it wasn't a first meeting story, but like when you came to each other and said, let's start a band, and why?
It was pretty early on, like meaning that we're pretty young and didn't really know what we're doing. There was zero plan to it. And I think we just like we were playing acoustic guitar so we could write a song. We were sharing music a lot. We stopped hating each other so much because as brothers, you sort of like, you fight and you hate each other. So we started enjoying each other's company, and then I think we, God, it is hard thinking and painting.
I know.
And then we just sort of like, we wrote a song together and we decided to make a band. We're already calling ourselves the Limes, and we're at this music festival that our auntie runs called Music Cordiale. So we're like, let's call it Lime Cordiale. Wouldn't that be so funny? Regretted it ever since. And then, it's kind of been, I don't know, we just sort of had no idea.
In those early days, can you tell me about a moment when you thought this could really turn out to be something? For example, like someone cool reached out and gave you an opportunity, or you like sold out a gig you didn't expect to?
Well, Louis didn't want to be in a band that was like a public band. He just wanted to be in some private band that wrote songs. So he was kind of like,
I just wanted to do the songwriting.
Yeah.
And then not do the live thing.
Yeah.
But then Ollie booked a show and sort of forced me into it, you dickhead.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the live thing now?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think because of that, I just, now I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Do you two share the same strengths? For example, like is someone more creative, the other one more structured and keeps everything moving along, or how does that work? Do you complement each other?
Louis is very good at just like being in the moment, and I'm very good at like stressing about the future. So like that's probably.
But that's what you need.
How are your paintings coming along, by the way?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah?
Yours is good.
I've accidentally made one of you way taller than the other, and I
That's
won't say who yet.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely.
you're doing both of us?
Yeah. I know when musicians are first learning their instruments, they tend to turn to certain songs that they go back to and play along to a lot. What were those songs for you when you first picked up your instruments?
I think bands like The Strokes, we really loved. And then I loved listening to The Whitest Boy Alive. That was definitely.
Oh yeah. There was Kings of
inspiration.
Leon, and there was I remember Vampire Weekend as well, like pretty early on. But yeah, there's certain ones. Louis listened to like a lot of hip hop and reggae. Like at one point, Louis was just like, we should just be a reggae band. And then we realized that probably wasn't a good idea. But so then we kind of like moved into loving like more soulful music, and we got, I don't know, into like that groove a little bit more. I feel like around that EP when like Bullshit Aside came out and stuff like that, that was inspired by, I don't know, people Like who in particular? Was it Charles Bradley at that point and Amy Winehouse or things like that? I think probably.
So it influenced how you played at the beginning as well, like your own songs?
Yeah, or the writing of the songs.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Because we had like a trombone player, not the trombone player we have now, but we're like, well, you either go like reggae or you go soul, you know. So it was like we were just trying to find a sound. Like a few years in, we're like, you need to find a sound, you know. You need to like be something in particular if you want to get played on radio or taken seriously. So we were kind of worried about that. We're trying to find some sort of sound. Oh my god, I've given you a beard.
It looks good.
I'm gonna hang it up on my wall.
I keep changing my like stylistic idea.
I'd love to talk about more technical music stuff. So my first question for you is, what effects do you guys like to use, and which ones do you avoid as well?
I feel like we used to avoid effects. We were like, it's got to be pretty like acoustic in the very, very early days. And then the first producer we worked with, he like got us into using like guitar pedals and things like that. And we'd like opened our mind to it a lot, which was quite nice. And that was just like a lot of drive and fuzz and things like that. And then definitely just like delays and yeah, I mean, we love like a slap delay on a vocal. When we're playing live, we don't use pedals anymore, which is kind of interesting, but it means that we can get like really specific with our effects because we're using digital amps and digital effects.
That's great.
Shut up.
I really like that.
Is it true that while you were recording 14 Steps at the farm that you went to go record the sound of a frog and then distorted it and turned it into a snare?
I think when we said frog, it was like Louis' fart.
It was just a cover-up story.
We've had slapping Louis' ass a few times.
Yeah.
As a snare.
The tempo, our song Tempo is a bum slap.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song of yours. I had no idea. I'm gonna listen back and know exactly.
I mean, it's got a snare in there as well, but there's definitely a bum slap in there.
When you're fleshing out a new song, do you jam it out in the band space with your whole band, or do you guys build it in your DAW and then bring it to the recording studio and show everyone?
Yeah, we don't flesh it out with the band. It's kind of like a bedroom produced. We're sort of like bedroom producers and then tend to then like re-record things later, you know, or multiple times in different spaces. Yeah, often with our producer.
Okay.
Yeah, we create like a pretty solid demo and then work it out from there.
So when you're working on those songs with your producers, you said that you're being more experimental recently. So how do you know when a song is finished? Because I know there's probably moments where you want to add this, tweak this.
Never, I think.
Pretty bad with that, actually.
Yeah, really bad at finishing.
Just keep adding things, which is a problem.
Yeah, and kind of just the deadline thing is the only thing that gets a song released, I think. I reckon it's kind of impossible to say, yeah, that's it. I mean, you're never really like satisfied. I think you'll listen back to it like a year later and be like, oh, that was cool, it's fine.
Do you ever listen back to your published songs and regret something or think like we should have done that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Lots.
Can you give me an example?
Sort of from maybe our first EP or something. But also at the same time, fucking YOLO, you know? You just like, let it just be shit and whatever in the past.
All right, so we're approaching our final section, so you have like 5 minutes to
Oh, you're joking. I can't paint and talk. Like my talking and my painting has suffered.
Your painting has gotten so much more ferocious since I said that.
Oh my god. You're gonna move.
I saw you playing in Montreal actually a few days ago. And the
you did?
Yeah, the show was amazing.
Oh, you went to the show?
Where do you draw inspiration for your stage presence? Like, have you gone to gigs and saw an artist do something amazing and thought like, yeah, we want to adopt something like that?
Yeah, definitely.
Who and when?
I mean, even last night we saw Declan McKenna
And More on Drugs.
and More on Drugs at the Ottawa Blues Fest.
Oh yeah.
And I really liked his energy on stage. I just like the way he kind of bombs. I don't know. Did you love him?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, it was
Silver.
what did I get from that? I mean,
I liked his banter.
yeah.
The way he
War
talked to the crowd.
on Drugs are pretty inspirational, like from a sonic perspective and everything.
I'm sure you guys have done like thousands of shows at this point. Is there anything that you found that you do at your shows that the audience goes wild every time, no matter what country you're in?
The call and response thing's always pretty good. And with like getting the audience to sing back part of your songs, always like, I think we sort of discovered that pretty lately.
Yeah, and in Europe, I was kind of like making out with Louis on stage a bit.
Oh yeah.
Not making out, but we'd have a big smooch on stage, which was nice.
You guys almost ready to show me your paintings after this?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, let's talk pre-show rituals since you guys came on with so much energy in Montreal. I know you told Idris that you listened to Boasty before to get in the right headspace. What else is part of your pre-show routine?
Have a tequila shot, and we also like have a little speech, like kind of they're not a huddle like a Mighty Ducks huddle, but like a bit of a cheesy kind of like, guys, come on, like just realize what we're doing. Realize that we're actually going to play on the other side of the world tonight. We're going to play in front of this many people, and like, who the fuck? Why would they even know who we are? Like, you know, and it's just sort of like a realization, put everyone in their place. If someone's just like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to know, or like if someone's just a bit anxious, or you know, it's just like everyone bought tickets to see our show, so realize that, you know.
A little pep talk.
Yeah.
And tequila.
A bit of tequila is always a bit nice.
Yeah, that helps.
Just like ours, just before this interview.
All right.
I saw you went, oh.
No, I'm not a good tequila.
Yeah, there was definitely a gag in there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all right, everyone gags.
I do have one more question though. What's coming up for you guys next? Do you want to plug anything?
We do have another single that'll come out. It's not quite, we haven't finished the mix or the music video, but it's called Pedestal. So that'll be the next single. And I don't know, we'll be back here in Canada or in the States next year for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so.
We'll see you again.
Yeah.
We love being over here.
Maybe we'll have to do this again and see if our paintings are any better.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a bit more talking next time.
Yeah.
Practice multitasking.
Maybe
this interview's just going to be like, what was the question?
What were you saying?
We'll try a different craft next time.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys ready to show me your paintings? Do a grand reveal?
God.
Yeah, mate. Yours is great. Look at your face. Alright, do we reveal?
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
yeah! That's beautiful.
Yours is so nice.
I forgot you were wearing a hat. I was like, who's the pirate?
Oh yeah, I'm wearing a hat.
You're a lot smaller. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's good.
I love yours. Yours
Look
is
at
so
that fringe
cute.
going.
Yeah. You look a little angry.
Yeah, I know. I like that.
I like it.
Too good.
You look asleep.
It's pretty true.
You guys can keep this if you want.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do we swap? We give you these?
Please do. Thank you.
There you go.
Nice
one. Lovely.
All right. Oh, some water.
This is so gorgeous. All right, let's do a tequila shot then.
Yeah.